Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. Today, we're going to be looking at your severe weather, which is going to be impacting areas into the central United States. Areas like Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, and even there into Oklahoma and Arkansas are going to be seeing a very high chance of severe weather. We even have a moderate risk already in place for areas on your day 2 forecast, which probably won't be upgraded, but still does have the potential to be upgraded. You still are about 48 hours out. Storm Prediction Center can still expand that area of moderate risk, and they can only go up one more tier, which is a high risk. They rarely do that, but I think they might actually expand the area of moderate risk, and that moderate risk currently is over northwestern Illinois, and we'll see if that does expand. We're going to be going over just your severe weather for today, and we're going to be going over some CAPE. We're going to be looking at your wind shear, and we're going to be going a little bit more in depth on your severe weather today. And then tomorrow we'll look at your snowfall and really just an overview of the entire system with my updated snowfall and rainfall forecast. So here's your current National Weather Service winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings there into areas into Wyoming, Colorado. On the southern end of that circle that I just circled in, that's your red flag warnings where you have some increased fire danger, and flood watches there for areas into South Dakota and Minnesota, as well as into Nebraska. And then for Minnesota and Wisconsin, you have some winter storm watches, potentially could be upgraded to some winter storm warnings, and we'll talk about more of that tomorrow's video with my updated snowfall and rainfall forecast. And that's where you could receive 6 to 12 inches or even a little bit more of snowfall in those regions. So let's start off here with your Storm Prediction Center, and we do have for today, and this is for Friday the 27th, we have a slight risk in place there for Illinois, southern Iowa, into Missouri, and then even into Kansas. Even if you're in this marginal risk, still be aware you can still get some, definitely some damaging wind, and you can also get some heavy downpours. So definitely if you're in Texas, Oklahoma, through the rest of Missouri, through the eastern half of Kansas, southern Iowa, much of Illinois, much of Indiana, much of Ohio, through northern Kentucky and northern West Virginia, and a little bit there of Pennsylvania, do be aware for some severe weather. Tornado risk, about 5% chance there as we get into Kansas and Missouri. Definitely, I think your tornado and especially your hail threat, you'll see we have 15% chance here, are your two biggest risks for today. Wind threat, just a 5% chance, so definitely nothing too crazy in terms of your wind threat there. Storm Prediction Center for your day 2 outlook, which would be for Saturday, and I had a lot of comments from Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, southern Wisconsin, asking, in southern Michigan, asking about this severe weather day. And actually, you will see that moderate risk there, and that's for northwestern Illinois. And I was talking about how you guys in the comment section, I was talking about how you guys in that area could see some, at least a slight risk in some of those areas, and even some of those areas actually got upgraded to an enhanced or moderate risk there, and that's for, again, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, and into Missouri for the enhanced risk. Moderate risk just for northwestern Illinois. And when you get into a moderate risk, and they might actually expand this come tomorrow as we get to the day 1 forecast, they might actually expand this to a larger region, so we'll have to see. And definitely that would cause some concern. It should already cause some concern here that you have a moderate risk in place. Tornado, you have a 15% chance there, a 5% chance in the brown, 10% chance in the yellow, 15% chance as you get into that red. And then if you are in that black hatched region, that's where they're looking for the potential for a 10% chance or greater probability of significant tornadoes, which they classify as EF2 to EF5 tornadoes. So definitely something that you do have to pay attention for, and the fact that you already have a 10 to 15% chance risk in those areas, definitely something that's very worrying. Now, your wind risk, general 15% chance there. I think they might actually upgrade some of this to a 30% over some areas, over Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, because you do actually have quite a bit of wind when these thunderstorms are coming in. We'll look at that later on in the video as well. Hail risk, 30% chance, and a significant hatched region anywhere in that black. So you have a 30% chance and also in that 30% chance, that hatched black region, that is where they're looking for the 10% chance or greater probability of 2-inch diameter hail or larger within a 25-mile radius from any given point in that area. So definitely something that you have to pay attention to. 2 inches of very big hail size. So definitely something that you want to be paying attention to. So here's your simulated radar from the European model. It's going to really get going as you get Friday night into Saturday morning. You're starting to see some thunderstorms overnight across Missouri, Illinois, Kansas, Oklahoma, and you're seeing some isolated thunderstorms. We'll go into your Cape values. We'll also go into some of your wind shear, which is something that I haven't shown on the channel too much, but I want to look to show that a little bit more on the channel. Now, as we continue this, you start seeing more storminess, and as you get those little lines of heavier precipitation, that's how the European model is indicating some thunderstorms within those areas. So this would be by Saturday morning and afternoon now, and then you get this next wave. You have this first low pressure system to move through right here, and then you get this next wave as you get through Saturday night and Saturday afternoon. Now, as we get through Sunday morning, you're starting to see that really strong line of thunderstorms starting to move through across the Mississippi River, and it's moving eastward by that point as you get into Sunday morning. And then you're getting some weaker thunderstorms, still a bit strong, but weaker definitely than they were in Illinois, Iowa, Missouri. And then as we get into Sunday, right around your lunchtime, you're starting to see it move through the northeast, and all the severe weather is pretty much all said and done with. So here is your precipitable water, and this is going to show you if you were to squeeze all the moisture out of the atmosphere, this is how much water would be squeezed out. So let's show you this, and usually you want above about, let's say about 8/10 of an inch, which would be this dark purple here, and then especially to get over an inch or so, and even some areas getting an inch and a half, 2 inches of precipitable water. That's really, really high, and that'll indicate some very strong thunderstorms, and you'll see this as this line moves through. Behind it, very dry air. In front of it, you have some very moist air, 2 inches or more of precipitable water. So that's definitely something to note. And as you get into where that moderate and enhanced risk is, that's where you're looking at maybe more of about an inch of precipitable water. So definitely those numbers are high, and this continues to move through as we get past into Sunday. So here is your CAPE values, convective available potential energy. This is showing you how much energy you have in the atmosphere. Usually you want above about 1,000 joules per kilogram here, and that's in kind of your turquoise. And then you're even going to see some values of about over 2,000, which would be in the yellows and oranges, and then even into the 3,000 range, which is in the oranges, and into the reds there. So that's definitely a lot of energy in the atmosphere. So as we continue this, you're starting to see, as we get through Saturday morning, you're starting to see some of those reds and oranges pop up through Oklahoma and Kansas. Definitely, I think Saturday for Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, even into the western half of Missouri, that's going to be a real big severe weather day. And then as you get through Saturday night, I think that's when it's going to be more for Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, and then even through areas into the Great Lakes. This would be by Saturday night. You're seeing about 1,000 CAPE or so over many regions there of Illinois, Missouri, and Iowa. And as we continue this, you're starting to see this CAPE values start to move to the east, and really it starts to dissipate as you get into Sunday afternoon and evening. You still have some higher CAPE values to the southeast, but definitely I don't think any thunderstorms of great magnitude are going to appear of those regions. Now here's your we're going to start looking at your directional wind shear. Now this is how we kind of look at when you have some wind shear. That's really something that'll help produce these thunderstorms. Now look at these dashed lines, and I'll kind of mark these for every single. We're going to look at the different layers of the atmosphere. So we have winds coming out of the northwest and then spinning coming out of the southeast. Now this would be for your 10-meter winds, so basically your surface winds. Now we're going to look at a little bit higher up in the atmosphere. This would be about 5,000 feet up, and you're seeing more of these winds coming, a little bit of wind shear, but you're not seeing too much wind shear at this point. But it's really as you start to get even further up, and this is around 15,000 or so feet up in the atmosphere, and you start to see, look at these winds, they're starting to move out of the southeast at very strong paces. So definitely your wind direction is starting to change, and then as you get through 300 HPA, which would be right around 30,000 feet in the atmosphere, still right around that southeast direction. So actually, over this region, you actually have quite a bit of wind shear, and that's why I think they actually put up that moderate and enhanced risk of severe weather because of that directional wind shear, which is going to really help fuel these thunderstorms. Now, one quick thing, we're going to look at your total precipitation. I don't think you're going to have any major flooding, but definitely I think your sewer systems could definitely get overloaded as you do get maybe an inch in just a few, maybe 1 or 2 hours. So that's definitely something that could overload those sewer systems. I think it's going to be isolated flooding, but definitely flooding nonetheless. And you see, as you get into those blues, that's about a half an inch to an inch. So you see that over a lot of these regions, over the Midwest, Great Lakes, and then even through into the Northeast. This is going through Monday morning, by the way. And then as you get into the yellows, that's over an inch, so an inch to 2 inches. And then as you get into the reds, that's about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. So hopefully this did help you guys out and understand what's going on in terms of severe weather for today and then through Saturday and even into Sunday. Tomorrow we'll be putting out our snowfall and rainfall forecast on the channel, so definitely stay tuned for that. Now that is going to wrap up the video. Please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you never miss a video when I do upload. Anyways, guys, that was Eli with the guy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.